So let me formally say hello to all of you and explain what we are going to do today, because the idea here is to do a practical exercise. Nonetheless, I'd love to explain a few things beforehand, because sometimes we may approach the idea of working with our energy as if it were just something in our minds. It's just our choice to think of it. It's just something that has little effect, and it's more like a placebo. However, in my experience, energy work, or better saying, the fact that our energies, they influence us, and that is something objective, is pretty much a statement. Not only because of the many different experiences that I have had, but also because of thousands of reports I have heard from people, many individuals that I have worked with in one-to-one sessions in my research, but also for private sessions for their purposes. So it's something that we have to approach as something natural. However, that does require some knowledge about it and some care. I refer to the energy practice, no matter which one. Throughout my life, especially teaching and researching these topics, I've seen so many people that sometimes they mess with the wrong practice, or they visit places and get into workshops that open themselves too much. I just use the word open for lack of a better word, because we do not have a vocabulary that's very precise to refer to something that is not physical. We are referring to our non-physical aspect, our energetic body. But to avoid to be too technical, this idea of people that when they join different workshops, that they may have some side effects, can vary a lot from people that are sensitive, from those that maybe later on with a lingering idea. I've never ever had anything of this in any of my practices, not in the IAC either, because we are very careful. And we make sure that we give the proper instructions. So I would like that all of us here, we follow some instructions, because in this way, as I mentioned to you in the video that I was advertising about this practice, I can let go of my intuition, let go in a good sense. I mean, be with you and enjoy sharing the energies with you and sensing how things are going there from your side. It's a group of us, number one. Number two, it's online. But if we connect energetically, we can work together wonderfully. Energy is one of those things that are unavoidable in life. I'm mumbling today, I'm sorry. But it's like, okay, I don't believe in gravity. Well, we are going to face the consequences. I don't believe the sun can damage my skin. Well, if that is the case, we are going to suffer the consequences. If somebody say, well, I don't believe proper nutrition is necessary, the person is going to suffer the consequences. And same thing is in relation to the energy body or the energy system that all of us have. Unfortunately, when we talk about our energy system, there is a lot of guessing and not so much of well-established research. Or better saying, there are several good research, not enough yet, but very good research and very trustworthy data. However, there are many people that they may just, hear once and keep repeating. I wish one day we have a proper school to teach all of this so that everyone go through proper education, and I would love to be there and to be present and to contribute. Having said that, what I think is the most important thing for us to do at this moment is to be very much in tune with ourselves. The greatest of the situations that we may face when we do energy work, the greatest, I mean, in terms of results that we didn't expect in a not good sense, is because people sometimes they connect with energy of others, with energy of places. And then you can say, well, then I have to be alone in an environment. We are never really alone. I hope that's not, doesn't sound too strange, but we are never really alone because there are no physical presences with us. There are spiritual presences. There are energy of other people around of us. So what we have to do here, and that's my proposal to you, is that we practice two things, which I believe are key for our exercise. Number one, that we maintain lucidity about what's going on. Lucidity comes from the word light in Latin, meaning to really see what's going on. And for that, we only need our attention. We only need to know that there are aspects for us to be aware of. For example, how much do you concentrate in the exercise? If you are very well connected to the exercise, following all of my words and working with me, well, 90% of the situation is good because you are lucid of what's going on. But when we start daydreaming and allowing our minds to wander, or lacking lucidity, being not so aware of the present moment, then is when we waste an opportunity because we could be learning and practicing something. But that's also when we may end up connecting with some sort of energies that we wouldn't like. Then you could ask yourself, oh, so the energy exercise makes me connect with the energy that I wouldn't like to? No. The energy exercise makes you more aware of that connection and may strengthen the connection if you are not in control. But it does not create a problem. So the second thing that I would like you to be always doing, besides being lucid, meaning please don't sleep, don't daydream. If your mind starts wandering, that's no problem. You just bring your attention back. That's all we have to do. Perfect. The second thing is to be in control of your own energy. Because here, not only we are doing a practice for us to establish a certain atmosphere, a certain energy inside of us, but we are also doing a practice, at least I'd like to think so, to train, to learn, to develop, so that all of us become professionals in understanding our energy body, the energy effects that we may experience in so many different situations of life, and I am sure all of us here, we do. So that's the two things we need. Attention, in a way, to be lucid, to be aware, and second, to be trying what we are going to do here and what we are going to be guiding, or I am going to be guiding you to do. With these two things, there's nothing else we need. Do you think it's okay? We can go towards these lines. Full concentration, if not, you come back. And at all the time aiming at you doing by yourself whatever we are going to be doing in each step of the exercise. Is that good for you? Yes? Let me know there. Yes! Or if you have any questions. It's so hard sometimes because through YouTube I have to read your answers here, so it's not immediate time, right? So, but anyways, if you tell me yes, that's good. I just want to make sure you understand, and then we follow and we take fully advantage of the exercise. Is there anything any of you would like to ask before we jump to the exercise? I'll tell you what was my idea for today. And as I mentioned before, I am going to, I'm just looking at your comments here. As I mentioned, I'm going to aim, and that was my original idea when I planned on working this weekend. I wanted to try and see if we could, like, transform the energy of some of our chakras. The energy of our chakras, they are in constant movement, not only an actual movement of the energies going in and out, spiraling, pumping, expanding, shrinking. There's lots of movements that are actually multidimensional because it's in the chakra per se, but it goes towards the non-physical astral dimension, but it goes towards people here. So it's complex. But not only I would like us to try and do some movements to control that, but also to try and change and somehow soften down the type of energy that we have in each of our chakras. It's very common to have blockages. It's very common to have energy there that sometimes cause on us some discomfort. But not only that, it's very pleasant when we can relax. Chakrally speaking, now I created a word. But we can relax the energy of our chakras. So that is a wonderful sensation that I would like all of us here to be able to sense, to be able to share. One other thing that I want to mention to you, it's not related to the exercise, it's not related with what we are going to work here, but I want to leave this note because I have been working a lot with people on private sessions, and I see that there is one situation that is more common than we think. That is sometimes ideas coming from our minds, like thoughts, that it's like persistent, and we feel they are strange to us. They are like coming from outside. So this is one of the results of people who are sensitive, but it's wonderful. It makes us experience the fact that life is not only physical. And also, through this sensitivity in our energy field, we can be in contact with positive, advanced, developed, non-physical presences like spiritual beings who would support us, who would give us some inspirations, positive insights, intuitions. But every time we are in contact with something, we have to be aware of what is it we are getting in terms of energy, but in terms of ideas, in terms of emotions. And whenever something gets out of balance, or let me put in a different way, whenever we are not feeling in our best, we should, all of us, myself including, ask ourselves, at this point, am I not feeling so well in terms of my physical body? Is it my energy that is maybe with some blockage and the energy is not flowing so well? Or is it the quality of the energy, meaning the information of the energy that is in the field around of me that may be affecting me? So please, let's keep that in mind, because many people think that whatever it's in our minds in terms of thoughts has nothing to do with energy, and that is a big mistake. There are lots of studies and research about that, even from the Russians when they were studying to use energy work and telepathy for war purposes, but it was not only Russia, it's just because there was a book written about it. So we have lots of evidences, but in our personal life we have evidences. So let's do this exercise knowing we are going to be in control of our energy. We are going to be training. We are going to be learning. We want to be in contact with ourselves. And at this moment, at this point, stopping any sort of exchange of energy. Why? Because we want to know ourselves as we are. We want to feel ourselves at our best so that we can compare with the moments when we are not at our best, and then we know something is not as it was supposed to be at that moment. Just as a different example, some people, they wake up in the middle of the night feeling like heavy, feeling sad, feeling like worried about something they do not know what it is. And for them, it's just, I woke up with that kind of sensation. It's not normal. Most of the time when it happens, and most, in my experience, 95%. I've felt that before, and I've worked with many people who do. That is also related with energy. So let's gain control of it, and let's be in charge. So that's my proposal to you. So we are going to do an exercise to be in charge. I'm not going to do a very technical exercise. I want to do something that is more loose, so that we combine a little bit of our perception of ourselves with the perception of the chakras, with the perception of the energy of the environment, at the same time that we practice gaining control of our energy body. So we are going to do a mix and match and see how it goes. Is that good? Yes? Good, great. Barbara, returns, Peter, thank you for your feedback, guys, all of you here. Wonderful. So look, to do any type of energy practice, once we are in full control of our energy, it doesn't need to be full control, but once we know how to directly control our energy, we do not need a lot of relaxation. What do I mean by direct control? You concentrating on your energies. It doesn't matter if you are so sensitive that you feel all details, or if you are not that sensitive and the sensations are not as clear to you. That is not important. What important is every time that you are doing that exercise, you will be then practicing this skill that is focusing on a body of yours that's not physical. So that's something that we need at this point, and we are going to gain this skill here. Sounds good to you? Yes? But just because we are just training, we are going to do some relaxation. I'm going to guide you through that. You try to be very relaxed, but avoid sleeping, okay? So we are going now to practice. Let the body relax, but our mind lucid. Our mind sharp to see what's going on around. So that is the challenge and what we are going to practice. But knowing that we are dealing with a body of ours that's not physical, but we can equally be in control. If you sense a lot, great. If you don't, that is not a problem. We can develop our sensitivity. What's important now is that your focus is on doing it and having a connection with the exercise you are doing. Nice? Yes? Okay, I wanted very much to give you this idea and prepare for the exercise so that we can fully focus. I am going here to put an image on the screen just because I think it's better than you just keep looking at me here, because any movement or anything may distract you. So I'd rather that you are focusing only on yourself. So I'm going to put an image. I will continue talking in a similar tone of voice, just a little bit slower, because that is the pace of the exercise, but everything will be aiming at bringing you in a journey inside your energy body to know yourself. Sounds good? Okay, so then please, if you are not in a good position, please put yourself in a good position. I'd suggest that you don't be standing now, so I cannot be looking at you. If you are sitting, I know you are not going to lose balance or anything, so it's better for me to conduct the exercise. You may be lying down or reclined if you want. Just please make sure you don't sleep. When I do energy exercise, my preference, personal one, is to be sitting with my back straight just maybe because I have practiced yoga, 25 years ago, but I loved the position for energy work, so that's always how I do. You are going to see for yourself. So you can be reclined, you can be lying down, you can have pillows, no pillows. You can be standing. I just ask you not to be standing in this exercise because you need to be familiar with your reactions, okay? But as long as you don't sleep. Deal? Good. So I'm bringing here the image, as I mentioned to you. Please adjust lighting. If you have any strong light in your face, you may want to reduce that. Not because it's a problem, but just because if you have any perception of clairvoyance or movements of energy, if you have a strong light, that is going to confuse your senses. And that's what we want to avoid. You want to get rid of anything tight in your body that calls too much attention to your body. Again, just so that it doesn't distract you with physical sensations, but it's no problem, whatever clothes you are using, it is fine. And so let's get prepared. Remember to turn off your mobile phones. Mine is on silent, and then we go for it. I'll give you some seconds while I bring here our image. Take a deep breath, please. All you want while you are breathing in and out is to remind yourself that you are a consciousness, a transcendental being, right now manifesting through a very dense body that is basically an ecosystem full of bacteria and your cells reproducing, some of them dying. That's it. But this is what we inhabit right now. It's a physical body. It's natural, but that brings some consequences to us because sometimes we forget we are this transcendental being. So we do want now to remind ourselves of that. And then you inhale and have a feeling of how much this can put you in contact with ourselves, with yourself. And remember to relax your face. If you need to move a little bit your face, please do it. Relax your shoulders. Keep breathing. And with every breath, every breath you remind yourself, I am a transcendental being, and I am now getting more and more aware that I am inside a heavy body, heavy as compared to the essence of ours, heavy as compared to our non-physical astral body. What are the consequences that it brings to us? How does that affect you living inside this heavy body? It's the sense of gravity that is permanent. You forget that you are a being that can fly. It's the passing of time and the rigidity of the passing of time. So we forget that time has a different flow when we are in between lives. we can do so much more in the same length of time. And right now, that's what we want to enjoy. We are going to enjoy the freedom of being a consciousness, even though we are inside of our bodies. And we can do that by being in greater contact with our energy field. Our energy field is part of an interface, an energetic interface that connects ourselves to our spiritual astral body. So, hey, every time we can really sense that interface, we are going to be closer to the part of us that is immortal, that is transcendental. But it's this same energetic interface that sometimes allows us to connect with not so good energies that may contaminate a little our energy. That is a normal part of life. Breathing keeps us alive, but not always we are in full control of the type of air we are breathing. But if we are aware of what's going on, yes, we can change that. So please, now you are going to take one final deep breath, but I want you to bring in energy, connecting with non-physical energy, subtle energy. And energy has light. So you are going to see this light, luminous, bright light entering through you while you breathe in. It goes straight to your chest, and you will allow that to touch your chest and sink in. You will also allow that to distribute throughout your body, your energy body, which is completely aligned with your physical body. So if you concentrate in the physical body, that's good enough. Now you are going to bring in this bright energy directly through your chest. You do not need to breathe in for this. You can if you want to, but we want now to go straight to the energy and make them penetrate our chest, or you make them penetrate your chest, as if each cell of yours is something that is not rigid. You can penetrate each of them. I want that now, please, you bring these energies to the area of your stomach, the top part of your stomach, and we will work from there. So you just concentrate. How do you feel that area? It's light? It's heavy? Do you have any uncomfortable sensation? Do you feel pleasure there? It's pleasurable to sense this area? You are going to focus on the energies there. and you are going to start transforming these energies. How? To start, we are going to be aware of them. It doesn't matter how you sense it, if it's very clear or not, if it's light or it's a heavish feeling. What matters is that you are focusing there. And now, little by little, we are going to try and change the frequency of this energy. It's very hard to talk about frequency because we do not have a direct way to control it. So, to do it in an indirect way, we will try to transform this energy into something that our minds are going to focus on. So please sense this area and start creating inside of your stomach something that would be like a very bright green light. What's important is not the color, but how you focus, how you try to transform the energy there. Take your time. With your eyes closed, you try as if you could see it. You are not imagining, but in your mind you have to guide what you are doing. This bright green energy gets brighter and brighter and brighter. Almost so bright as if it could burn your eyes if you would be looking at it. Now, please, whatever you manage to do doesn't matter. You are going to allow this to expand a little. So go to the upper part of your body, even if it's just a little, touching your lungs, touching a little bit more of your abdomen, going a little out of the limits of your body, like beyond your skin, and especially remember to let it go backwards, like to the area of your spine. And then, in one strong exhale, we are going to let this energy distribute all over our bodies. So take your time, concentrate, and then exhale. Just let it do its own dissipation of energy, dissipating and distributing throughout your body, inside your body. Now you are going to think of the bright light that you tried to imprint in your energy. Energy is not light, but in terms of visual perception, because of the way our senses operate, we perceive it as light. So let's think of this type of green bright light we managed to produce. If it was very clear to you, that's great. If it was not, don't worry, it's not a problem. Just think of what you could concentrate on. And I want you to bring that now to the very top of your head. And you don't do anything. Just bring it and leave it there. Enjoy the sensation of having this energy there. No matter how you feel, each of us, we sense slightly different. Value your own perception. That's what matters to you. That's what's going to make you grow. And try to sense this energy touching the skin at the top of your head. Therefore, you are also sensing the skin at the top of your head. Please, very gently now, you are going to create soft pulses, as if you had a heart beating gently in the top of your head. But it's this energy that you put there, this bright energy. So it goes, and then again. So you create the pulses, but you also learn with the rhythm. What is the natural rhythm for you in your specific case today, in this session? Value how you sense it. Don't compare your sensations with others. Sensations and descriptions, how you sense it. You don't have to imagine, but you have to learn to recognize how you sense it. And then please, let's make these energies start flowing down, going through our brain, reaching the cerebellum, and then the spine, going down your spine. Take time, take your time. Having this bright energy flowing down. It reaches your coccyx, and then it goes down through your legs, inside the bones. Everything is a matter of mind control. You control it with your mind. You don't control it with the physical body. So put your attention and decision there, please. And when these energies reach the sole of your feet, you stop there for a moment. Let's enjoy it. The energy in the sole of our feet connects us a lot with the denser energy part of us. The part of our energy body that is more connected to the physical body. And they are the root chakra in the area of the sexual organs, and the chakras in the sole of our feet. So enjoy it. These energies give you strength in everyday life. But as does each of your other chakras, different type of strength, but you need these too. Try to make it pulsate in the sole of your feet, as we did in the top of the head. It's gently. It's your mind focusing on the energetic part there. Energy is in all of our cells. We are not trained to sense it, but it's there. And we can sense. What is sometimes hard is to translate in our brain, to transcode what is it that we are sensing. Now, would you please bring it up again? Just the opposite path, going back through the bones in your legs, going up through the spine, up through your neck, passing through your brain and reaching the top of your head again. You are in control of your energy. It's your decision. The stronger your decision, the more you'll be able to control it. You can do it. And now, once you reach the top of your head, we are going to make it pulse again. But this time, we want to make it stronger. We want to try and sense it better. Let's try. As if the pulses would make the energies go further away. So instead of 1/4 of an inch out the top of your head, let's try to do it 1 inch, 2 inches. But it pulses from the top of the head outwards. Very well. Now let us think of the information that we have in our energy. Our energy carries information from what we think, what we feel, our expectations of life, our traumas, situations we have lived in our childhood, places we have been, group of people we have been in contact with, situations that happened around of us. But now, let us remember and include into this that our energy also have information of what we have experienced between lives. For example, just before being born. And in previous lives, everything is registered in our energy as an informational pattern. Let us think, just to start. What is it that we had inside of us before being born? What is it that we could have planned for us to overcome inside of ourselves? We are our greatest friend, but sometimes we are also our greatest enemies. The strength to move on is inside of us, but often there are obstacles that we do not see. So now position yourself as if you were outside your body. Look at yourself, not necessarily physically speaking, seeing your physical body, but observe you, remembering you are eternal consciousness. You existed before being born. How do you see yourself now? How do you feel about your life? If you were reevaluating how your life is going at this point, would you say you are proud of how you are growing, things you are achieving, the legacy you are leaving behind? And legacy, we are not referring to something physical, but awareness. expansion, consciousness shift in this world, how we touch this world. Do you think you're giving to your life your full potential? Are you living consistent, coherent with the skills you have, with what you have learned throughout all your lives, with what you have planned for this life? Are you? Only you can know. But now you are the transcendental consciousness who is really you, looking at yourself, and it's just an observation. You are in contact with you. You have no boundaries to look at that. You are not having to please any social standard. It's you, with yourself. This transcendental, eternal consciousness looking at the life that is present now in this body. And let us recognize now, please, what is the most common information that we put in our energy? It can be anything. Is it frustration? Is it anxiety? Are we always expecting something, waiting for something? Is it fear? Is it feeling impotent? Is it feeling strong, or feeling we are better than others, or feeling you are worse than others? Is it trying to mend something in your current life? Is it worrying about different relationships? Is it focusing on survival, meaning all of the things that we all have to do in this life, to have a shelter, to have health care, to have minimum conditions to live? But what is it that is more often inside of you? What is the priority information? What's the more prevalent? This is going to create synchronicities. Are you your greatest friend or your greatest enemy? Sometimes those who only tell us the good aspects we have are not necessarily our great friends. The best friends are those who do tell us our good aspects, but help us see those that are not so good, that, however, we are already prepared to work on them, to develop them. So be this friend to you. Don't be afraid of looking at yourself and working with whatever is needed. And I want you to bring this energy inside of you. And now we are going to imprint an information in our energy of hope, determination, and adventure. You can be adventurous in life. What is it that you have to learn? What is it that you can do? So many things to experience. And at the end, it always works well. Just sometimes it takes much longer than in other times. So now, please, let us imprint this information in this bright energy that we have inside of us. Bring all of this to the area of your chest. This energy, I mean. And see the brightness. And put this information there. I am much more than my physical body. And I can change what I want to change, starting inside of myself. Only when I start inside of myself, I will be able to also change things outside in the external world. And you allow this energy to get stronger and brighter inside of your chest. Make it go very deep, as if you could find a little core inside of your chest where you can bring this energy very bright. Do not let any area out. Your lungs, your heart. You are illuminating yourself with the awareness of who you really are. All of us, we are evolving. All of us, we have flaws. But all of us, we also have great accomplishment and rare, precious skills. And now I want you to get these energies that are inside of you and emit them, distribute them to the environment where you are, as if you were like a hose of energy, or rather a sprinkler, sending this energy to every direction. But you are in control, smoothly but constantly. You are lucid of it. And you want to imprint this information there. And you are inundating the environment where you are now with this information that is impregnated in your energy. Reminding yourself of your strength, of who you are. And that you are not alone. None of us are alone in the non-physical dimension of life. The big question is who we choose to be with, or who we allow to be closer to us. It will depend on the quality of our energy, or on the information that is in our energy. Now please bring the attention back to yourself. And I'm going to propose to you that we do a Velo exercise. So you are going to get your energy that is inside of you, all over, in every cell. And you are just going to continue focused on it. And you are going to make it move inside your body. Going down to the sole of your feet, only until it reaches the sole of your feet. And then bring it up to the top of your head, but only until the skin at the top of your head, the root of your hair. And you keep flowing it down and up. But look, with each path, the energy goes sweeping, illuminating, cleansing, but most importantly, breaking any stagnant field of energy, removing old energies with old patterns that may be there, trying to bring this clear information of what is in your energy through your body with this Velo movement. So it's not just accepting the quality of energy that is there, but it is consciously making sure you really sweep the energy inside of you, in the core, in all of the root of all of your thousands of chakras. And then focusing on, this is who I am. I can be in touch with my energetic interface. I can improve the quality of the energy inside of me, and everything comes as a consequence. Trust yourself. It's your decision that controls it. If you control Velo, you control it, your energetic interface. You are dealing with all of your chakras and all of your energetic structure at the same time. And then you tell yourself, I can do it with more energy, more quantity. The tension is not in the physical body. There is no tension. There is attention, decision. Your mind controls your energy. But your mind is controlling an objective part of yourself. Not physical, but objective, real. Verify the speed you are using to go up and down. Try to get a nice rhythm, not too slow, but doesn't have to be fast either. It's a nice rhythm that you can keep attention on it the whole time. If it's so slow that you lose attention, it doesn't work. If it's so fast that you are not being able to follow or sense, also it doesn't work. And very well. Okay, reduce the speed until you stop. And I'd like now that you pay attention on yourself fully. Your physical body, your energy body, but also your non-physical body, your emotions that comes from your non-physical astral body. And what about your thoughts, your mind, the clarity of your mind? How is it? Constant observation. Remember, being lucid of every aspect. Learning with it, controlling it. Learning for next time. And then take a deep breath. And then open your eyes and let's get back together here. I would like to know everyone is with me, everyone is well. I'd like to know how was the exercise, but I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. I know sometimes we get so relaxed that we don't even want to comment much. That is normal. Are you guys with me? Jean-Marc, thank you. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for sending me the feedback there. What about the other guys? Are you again back with us? Can I clarify anything to you, any of you, about your sensations, how to do the exercise, what we did, what was the purpose, anything that you have experienced, anything in this exercise or anything else, any other one? I have 15 minutes for this. I have another live later. It's a bit crazy, but it's going to be a live in Portuguese. But I'm here for you if you want, if you need. Nancy feeling good. Nancy van Rijn. Are you from Netherlands, Nancy? I think it's, wow, don't know. But I have traveled to Netherlands so many times. I love it. I love the country. And I absolutely love the sound of the language. It's one of my favorites, plus Italian. I am Italian. I understand everything if I hear, but I cannot express myself well in Italian. Why the stomach zone? Sabine is asking. Sabine, we have a chakra here in the stomach zone that I call it epigastro chakra. And this chakra I spotted throughout perhaps 12 years observing it. I had done research for a long time, but throughout this period of maybe 12, 13 years, I examined people that when I was in an energy coupling with them and sensing them, I would feel something here in this zone. Usually a blockage, a field of energy that is there, because that was what I was checking. But often people would report sensations on their energies that when they describe, I know by the description, not only by the position, it's not so much a matter of the position, it's a matter of the function of that chakra. That when they would describe, not only the position was in the stomach, but also I see that what that chakra for them and that sensation was related with was pretty much the type of function in terms of the energy body that is related with this epigastro chakra. So that's why somehow I had the feeling of working on it, because many people they have sometimes pressure in the chest or they feel heavy, but actually part of the problem may be here in the stomach, and sometimes we may have sensation like constant discomfort, and I'm talking about something not physical. If the person has a physical problem, then it has nothing to do with it. But many times it's not physical. We can even go to the medical doctor and we feel like there is something there, as if, a ball of something disturbing. And so I just felt like working with this chakra. Creative. To be honest, I still find it hard to move the energy by will when I still don't feel it. I understand you so much. It was my problem also at the beginning, because my perceptions, my sensations were not as clear when I started. So I 100% understand. That's why I emphasize so much to you guys. If you are not sensing clearly, keep trying. Because I'm going to explain one thing that I noticed with myself later on, but also throughout my research, I could verify that in many different cases, and my research was done with different individuals, but hundreds of individuals. And what happens is this, I'm going to comment here and you see if this makes sense in your case, okay? Creative. And sometimes we are not feeling the energy, okay? But you are practicing in one day, and then when you practice in the other day, you feel today is harder. Or in some other moment you are practicing, oh, it's nicer today. But if I would ask you, are you feeling the energy? You say, no, I don't feel it. How do you know it was harder or nicer? Lighter or impossible? You can only have this reference, and the reference that you are not doing well, if there's something you are sensing. The problem is that what we are sensing is not translatable in our brain into a expression or a sensation that we can directly relate to. Because our brain is very prepared to sense physical things. Well, very prepared. It's equipped for that. But sometimes not even that our brain senses precisely. Now we have to develop a way of training our brain to focus to the sensations of the energy body. And we have to start with these little clues. Today was heavy. Today was impossible. Today I was trying to move the energy and I felt relaxed, or I felt like oppressed. These little differences means there's something going on that we are observing, but those are not clear sensations to us. So I told you that with me it was the same, until one day I could identify one specific type of sensation. And when I identified the sensation, for me it was like, you know, when you get the tip of a thread and then you start pulling, I started recognizing many other things that I was identifying before, but was not conscious to me in a way. I don't know how to explain, but this happens. So if you tell me, creative, that you could focus, that you were concentrated the whole time, for me I would say, so don't worry. It's happening and you are going to identify the sensations. You are going to train your brain. But for this we need to tune with certain things. Don't look only for physical sensations. People want to feel something clear going through your bodies, through their bodies. Sometimes it's like a breeze that is not exactly a breeze, but more like a force field. We may lack words, that's what I'm trying to say. We may lack words to put the proper names into our sensations. Give yourself a chance to identify them. And if you are concentrated, and if you distinguish this difference, continue. You are on the right track. Okay? Some people, you know, creative, and I know some of you who are here with me, some people sense it so easily. And then all of a sudden they move a little bit the energies and lots of things are there. But others are not so sensitive. It's a personal thing. It's like someone who can distinguish more tones of colors than others. Or someone who is more sensitive to pain than others. Same thing with energy. So you have to learn how you sense. Thank you for the question. This is so important. Why is the energy green? Just personal experience. I many times worked with energy and I would sense some of the patterns of energy as if I could translate it in this kind of tone. But as I said, energy does not have a proper color. I'm not saying energy has color. I'm not saying you are going to get a piece of cloth. So this is my globe, but not green. But suppose it were that you are going to get a piece of cloth and put here, oh, it's green, it's going to heal me. No, only to the extent that you adjust the frequency. But I find that this bright green sometimes get to a certain frequency that I like for this type of transforming the energy. But it could be anything. Could be blue, could be silver, could be a bright, beautiful gray, as long as it's bright. We do not want to think of a dull energy. You know what's dull? That does not have vivacity, that is not bright. We want bright. Why? Because when the energy is more active, more activated, better saying, like if you see a chakra, that the chakra is activated, is open, is moving, it's healthier, the energy seems brighter. The color doesn't matter, but seems brighter because the activity of the energy, our eyes pick as light. When we are in an out-of-body experience, we may see an environment that it's almost as if it's sunset, always sunset. It's never really bright because the quality of the energy there, the type of the energy, the dynamics of the energy of that non-physical astral environment is one that is a little bit more dull, less active. But if we go to a dimension where energies are super active, flowing, you know, being employed and being into a perfect movement with the atmosphere there, we may tend to see it as brighter. I'm not referring to being light or day. I'm referring to the perception, visual perception of the energy of the non-physical environment. So just we learn with those experiences. That's what I'm trying to say. And by learning with those experiences, we start recognizing that these energies that seem brighter, somehow in our mind we connect and identify that as being more active. So, but the color doesn't matter. But I like this green bright because I feel it helps people to adjust a certain frequency that for this exercise was appropriate. I could use different things for different exercises. This is an exercise for a group. Sometimes I guide exercise like for one person, and then I know what's going on, so I can adjust better. But my point here was try to do something that would help everyone. Okay, Dave, thanks. Peter here is saying, stayed awake all the time. That's a good sign, believe me, not necessarily easy to everyone. The green color didn't materialize for me, but I had a feeling, a sensation, especially in feet and head, and not so much luck in the stomach. More practice needed. Not necessarily more practice needed. Peter, thank you for the question. Of course, when I ask you to aim to do that, it's because I'm trying to give you something more palpable, something more objective that you can try to produce. Otherwise, I would have to explain how the chakra works and the structure of the chakra and how you get the energy to move. And then we go to a whole class here, and I wanted to do something that's like a shortcut to the action. However, there are two things that I would like to explain here. Number one, sometimes it's hard for some people to visualize the color. And it may be two different things. I would like you to consider which of those were the case for this session that we just did. First, sometimes we can't see really that because we are not being able to adjust the frequency and create that field we want. Why? Because we can't do it? No, because it's taking more time. It's being a little bit harder because we are not just imagining. Look the beauty of what you are saying, Peter. Because thinking of a bright green, anyone can think. You know, when you highlight in your computer something with green, that's it. You know the color. So why is it that you could not put it there? Because you were using a mental image, but you are not imagining. And you didn't see it happening. So that is good. Was it because was not enough time to transform the energy in that way? Was it because there could be still some blockage and it would take longer because the exercise was super short? Or was it, this two is first condition, right, related to the chakra per se? Or was it another option here that I bring, that for you is very hard to visualize, to think of images? For me it is. So for me to think, for example, that I'm going to create certain sort of image in my mind, it takes time. So that's wonderful from one side. I know I'm never imagining and just visualizing. If I see something, it's because it's really happening. So with energy, it's wonderful. And that's what happened here to you, Peter. You didn't just imagine, you look for the actual thing. But sometimes there are some techniques for astral projection that they require visualization. Some techniques, of course not all, but those are not good techniques for me because I'm not good with this visualization. So Peter, different things that could be here, right? So that's maybe also why you didn't feel so clearly here and felt more on your feet and on your head. Maybe because this area here is not so sensitive yet. So in terms of adjusting the energy here, yes, you need more practice. But in terms of seeing the color, these two other things that I mentioned could be in place there. So you have to observe in your case what operates there. Okay, thanks. And then we have Cyril. And I have two other questions here and I will stop, okay? Because in a moment I have another live. Cyril is saying here to us, when we do the Velo technique, should the energy travel along the structure of the body or in a straight path from head to feet? No, along the structure of the body. So if you are standing, it's straight, literally speaking, right? But if you are sitting, it's straight inside of you. That's why it's more adequate longitudinal, right? So you're going to move inside your body, so therefore making the movement of your body sitting or following the position of your body sitting, which should not be a problem. The problem is that sometimes we think too much of the parts of our bodies that they are bent. So we do pum, 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 because we are sitting, right? So it's 3 segments. That is not the best way. Think of the 3 segments as one. If you had a tube that you are going to make air pass through it, and you just bend it a little bit, it doesn't matter. The air will go. Unless you really break it and bend it, but then it would be the equivalent of a blockage. But if there are no blockages in the chakras, you can bend as much you want the energy body, and of course I'm using an analogy, so the tube that in our minds we are going to think it's our energy body, and the energy will flow equally. So inside the body, not necessarily straight if you are not in a straight position. Did I answer your question? I hope I understood correctly. Faye here is saying, when you said to move our energies to the head, a rainbow of light appears. Very nice, Faye. Light red, pink, midnight blue. Nice. So it was amazing. I'm glad you had a pleasant moment. And sometimes this happens, like creates other effects on the energy. Wonderful. Look, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I would like to get with you next time to discuss some things about how the non-physical world is, based on some description of projections that I have received that are very nice. I'm about to publish them there in my website. So soon meaning 2-3 days, they are going to be there. So also I have a nice good news that today I am revising a book that I wrote to have as a free download in the website. It has nice content, many techniques, many tips. At least I think it's very helpful. So I'm going to let you guys know here also on the channel when it is available, so you can enjoy reading it. A nice reading, easier than my book on the vibrational state. My book on the vibrational state, it's to study, but has a lot of important tips and content there. But it's to, it's not a pocket book. Wonderful. So, shall I thank you then for being here with me? It was a great pleasure. Let me take a look here at your comments. Wonderful. Please tell me in the comments as soon as we finish here, what is it that you would like that I discuss for future lives and future videos? And also, I would like to know if you want some guided exercise with specific purpose. And then I can try and adjust and bring different things here. Each exercise is different, even if it's the same person conducting it for the same purpose, because the energy flows different and the connections we make and the group present is different, so it's always enjoyable. Anyways, I'm not going to take more of your time, and I'm going to go for my next live. It was really great pleasure having you here. Thank you for joining. Hope to see you soon. Have wonderful out-of-body experience and wonderful peaceful energies around of you and success in everything. Big hug to you guys. Ciao, bye-bye.